Hello and welcome to Camera Review. Today we are discussing what is the best camera to buy at the current market because there have been so many new camera announcements and the prices on some things have dropped like crazy. And I'm going to bring you one of those deals that I think is a steal because they have had a lot of cameras that came out with just a incremental improvement, yet the price of the other cameras that are in the market have dropped considerably. And those are the ones that I think overall give you an advantage when you're doing a camera purchase. And that is what I'm going to be talking about. And also notice how that is going to affect the secondhand market. And I provide links down below for this camera and for where you can get them for a very good price. The camera I'm going to mention is not going to be the camera that most people expect, because most people expect me to say Canon or a Nikon or a Sony. The camera that I'm going to mention is a Fuji X-H1. Now you might be asking, why this X-H1? Well, there are many things in this camera that other cameras in its price range do not have. First of all, it has a DCI 4K, which means that you're going to get cinematic quality, at least framing wise, images out of this camera. And also you're going to get F-Log. F-Log is a very flat profile for editing purposes, so that you can throw in these LUTs that will get you this incredible rich colors and very beautiful rendering. And those are the things that makes this camera very special. For example, there is the Eterna setting that you can put in. That Eterna is a very nice LUT that will allow the image that you have captured in F-Log to come out as cinematic as it can be. For me, that is a very important thing. Second important thing is that it records in 4K. 4K quality is going to be the standard for the next 2 to 3 years, and then we're going to go up to 6K as being the standard, and most of the cameras are going to come out in that way. But for what it is right now, the 4K quality that is coming out of this is far superior than what is available in other cameras, especially even if you consider $2,000 to $3,000 range. So let's talk about that. First of all, the 4K that you have out of this camera is the quality that is got 200 megabits. Megabits recording, the data that richness that it has is going to allow that processing to be much better when you do color correction and for getting that dynamic range out of that recording that you have done. When the information is as little as 100 megabits, as in most Sony cameras, you're going to find that it's going to have a very flat look. And even though you may throw in a certain LUTs and you might try to do color correction, you're going to be stuck in a certain range. With this, you are going to be able to expand in all different directions. We're going to be able to get black and white in extreme accuracy and use some of the standard film grains that have been developed as far as the LUTs, and you can add them to your post-production and get those special looks that you have been used to seeing in film cameras and also in Hollywood, because those are the things that makes these LUTs special. Because when you look at things that have very contrasty images, using for example a Fuji black and white picture profile is going to give you those advantages. And the fact that you can use those as presets when you're doing your capture in photographic mode, that is also an advantage. These are things that are not really easily found in any other camera manufacturer, because nobody has had a history as producing film in the same way that Fuji has. Kodak has been out of business, and there is really not much that we can point to, like Ilford or anybody that produces cameras and continues that lineage of having had an experience and know-how in creating those different looks and different color coordinations and color matrices to create those special images. So another thing that I truly like is the 325 point detection system for autofocus. Now, of course, Sony came out with 425, etc., but 325 is going to cover just about everything you need, and it's going to give you a much better advantage in terms of nailing that focus, especially with the firmware upgrade that has come out in the in-body stabilization. Is going to make that whole experience of catching images, that's especially action images, a much better experience. And for me, that is very important, because what happens is a lot of times we have a hard time nailing focus when the subject is moving fast, especially you're doing photography of skateboarders or skiers or somebody who's doing fast action. And this is the kind of camera that is going to allow you to do that. And for a price, yes, hold on tight, for a price of less than $1,000, you can have this camera brand new with everything that you ever wanted. It is going to come with excellent things, like you're going to get a memory card and a bag for this, which has not been there. And if you put all those accessories together, you're actually getting it for far less than this price. So for me, that is a bargain that you are going to be able to take and use this camera 2, 3, 4 years and be able to get excellent images, both in photography and excellent video as well. For that reason alone in itself, you can see how this camera can be a great instrument. Now, one of the things that I will have to say to you, and I strongly recommend, is getting a battery grip. Battery grip doesn't cost all that much, but it's going to first of all help you to use this camera in vertical or side grip, and it's going to let you take in different formats. So you could do a portrait and do a vertical, and you could do all kinds of other options. Also, it's going to put 2 more batteries in there. It's going to expand the possibility of for video recording and for photography in that. Without the battery grip, you are limited in number of minutes that you could record. Now that with that battery grip, you're going to do a whole lot more. So for me, that is a very important thing. I usually like the batteries to last very long, and this is one of those things. Beyond that, if you look at this camera as a camera system itself, it has incredibly great optics at a far better price than anything else in the market. Yes, it is not a full frame, but full frame is something that has been overhyped a lot of times. What is important is how good is the color you're getting, what's your dynamic range, how good are you able to nail in that focus, and how capable is this camera in capturing images. Those are all check marks that I put getting this camera. If you are going to go full frame, you have to go a lot more in terms of price to get something equivalent in a full frame format that is going to be ranging between $3,500 to $5,000 range. So for a third of the price, fourth of the price, you're getting a camera that is going to perform excellent. Now, you might be saying to yourself, what is going to happen if a new camera comes out? Yes, the new camera is going to come out, probably going to be XH2, and probably going to have a 10-bit recording internal, etc., with 422 and all that other stuff. But what is going to happen is this camera's value is not going to drop drastically because it's a minor improvement. It has already dropped considerably. You're saving $300 to $400 from the base price, so that's like already 40% discount. So when it comes out, the XH2, whichever time it will do, the price is going to be affected, but it's not going to be a huge effect. It's going to be a minor effect. Now, if you think I'll wait till then and I'll purchase this camera, that is not the case, because this camera, at this price, I don't think it's going to stay around very much, because once the stocks are gone, you're not going to be able to get them for that price. And most of the times what they do is they bring the price back up. You're thinking, oh, you know what? It's going to drop more. It doesn't drop more. It just goes up to where it was before or close to that range. And camera companies, they usually state this because they don't want to make the other camera that they had in the previous generation look like it has lost a lot of value. Here, what we're seeing is that the camera is being pushed to be sold as fast as possible, so get the stock out of the way so that they can reintroduce a new camera that is going to do pretty much the same thing as this camera, with maybe a minor adjustments here and there. Even if they came out with 6K, I don't think that's necessary. 4K is the standard right now. It does a lot of good stuff, And with the bit rates that is pushing, I think 6K is just an overkill in terms of the data, and you're not going to get much more out of the images in the video. So it is for that reason sticking to 4K and 200 megabits is going to out-resolve most of the stuff that's out there. Another thing that I do want to mention is the way that this camera is structured. It's structured in a way that is going to expand your photography. It has all the dials, everything that's set. It has a very user-friendly interface, which means the menu is there. It's going to give you that ability to use it in various circumstances, for video, for photography. You could take this camera and look very professional shooting weddings or action photography, or you could do events, and this will pay you back in almost no time because of its price range. I will talk more about which lenses I like in the Fuji lineup, and that's another discussion topic. But for now, this is the deal that I recommend. Please go out, check out the website links that I will provide in the description section below, and watch our other videos. And I thank you for watching our channel and subscribing.